It got cold this weekend. It drizzled rain all day Saturday, and then Sunday was a beautiful day. Sun was out. There was a lot of festivities going on this weekend. It was kind of the kickoff of Derby, which is the first Saturday in May. So the third Saturday in April, they have Thunder over Louisville, which I don't live in Louisville, but it's just across the river from us here. So they have a huge fireworks show that they put on from some barges and from a bridge that they closed down between southern Indiana and Kentucky, and I could actually see some of that from my house, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, it turned out cool. It's like in the 50s today. Probably 50 is as high as it got, actually. So I've got my little fireplace heater on right now, so I don't think it's supposed to freeze or anything in the near future, but it has turned a little bit cold. I think they call that dogwood winter around here. So I hope you got a chance to see on the Facebook group my dogwood tree. It's so beautiful, and it's still just gorgeous. We haven't had any big windstorms or anything to knock all the blooms off, so I'm really enjoying it this week, as well as everything else that's starting to bloom and green out. All the trees are greening out. So yep, springtime has arrived, and I'm happy about it. So sitting here as usual on Monday morning, which this is really Sunday evening, but you know what I mean, going through my schedule for this week. And the only thing I didn't really get to last week that I meant to was the kaleidoscope blocks. I did cut a bunch of the fabric. I just had that light fabric that I needed to cut up. I didn't get that done either, but the other pieces, the pinks and the yellows, I got those all cut out, so I have no excuse to not sit and put those blocks together. So I need 3, 4, 5, I need about 9 more blocks for that quilt, I think I'm counting that right. So I need to go on and get that put together before I forget how to do it. Alright, so that means that this week, that's the first thing that I'm going to be working on. Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to work on those exclusively, probably, until I can't work on them anymore. But this coming week, the end of the week, is the Paducah Quilt Show, and we are going to take our camper down that direction and camp, or glamp as we call it, for that weekend. So the quilt show starts on Wednesday. We're not leaving here till Thursday, so I'll be going to the show on Friday the 28th. So if any of you are planning on going to the show and would like to meet up or something, I will be there on Friday, and you can just put me a comment down below, and I'll make note of, we'll make plans. We'll just make plans somehow through the email or Facebook messaging or whatever, if you so desire. I would love to see you and spend a little time with you. I won't monopolize your day or anything like that, just a simple meet and greet type thing. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll probably do a little shopping as usual, and get my new planner for next year if they have them available by Friday, and they usually sell out pretty quick. If not, I can just always order it at my AQS discount. And any of you can belong to the American Quilt Society. You know, just sign up, pay your dues for your membership fee, and you'll get a percentage off on everything that they offer on there. And they do send you some specials every so often. You'll get an email weekly, I would say, and then if you want text messaging about different sales they have on. They're pretty closely linked, I believe, to APQ, is that the AccuQuilt? AccuQuilt is what I'm trying to think of. So they have a lot of discounts and stuff for AccuQuilt if you have that set up. I don't have that set up as of yet. Just not a priority right now. I'm not even sure if I really want that set up, but we'll see. But yeah, you can get a percentage off on everything. So it's worth having, and I think it's only like $24, $25 a year. You get those 6 magazines that I sometimes show you articles out of, read you articles out of. So there's some benefits to it. So I'm looking forward to that. So I won't get much else done, although I am taking my hexagons with me, and I will work on those as the mood strikes me. That worked out pretty good when I went to Vegas for the retreat. I took that along with me, and I worked on that more than I worked on anything while we were out there for that month of February. So I'll take that and I'll make some more headway on it. That slow hexagon project, you know the one. So let's see, wigged out on the Enchanted Whig Rose. That's what the quilt is for this week. Wigged out on the Enchanted Whig Rose, W-H-I-G. They're pretty, very pretty. It's by Marianne Clark of Rapid City, South Dakota. It's a reproduction of the William Henry Harrison Whig Rose quilt made in 1803 to 1804. She hand appliqued her version with cotton fabrics and silk thread. The tiny circles were made using templates, and Marianne machine quilted her reproduction with parallel lines in the sashing and echo quilting around the appliques. It was the Viewer's Choice winner at the Black Hills Quilt Show in Rapid City, South Dakota. See all the little circles on the edges there? The little ones, the teeny tiny ones. Yeah, and there's a better view of it actually. So yeah, very pretty. Pinks and greens, I love that. A little bit of yellow. So yeah, that's the plan for this week. Not too much to write down, because even in this planner they've got Quilt Week show big from Wednesday through Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it. It's hard to believe it's rolled around already. I'll try to do some filming and get you some looks at those quilts, the prize-winning quilts at least, and anything else that I find interesting. And of course, when I come back, I'll have a little video or include it in one of these Monday videos about what I acquired when I was there and any other happenings that there was. I'm not taking any classes or anything like that. I just want to go and relax and browse around and enjoy the surroundings. So yeah, that's what I got going on this week. So what do you have going on this week? Do you have plans to get something finished, to start something, or continue working on something? I saw Pat Sloan's plans for another, I guess you'd call it a sew-along. It's the library quilt from her Holiday Hoopla book. And I don't have that book, and I don't have plans to get that book, but I'm going to get my hands on, from a friend, a copy of that particular one, the library quilt. It's books. It's like a bookcase, and it has rows of books. And you just finish it out looking like a bookcase. But she did something neat with selvages, and I was going to sit here and try to do this while I was talking to you guys, but she would take a piece of fabric and then take a selvage and run it down the middle of where her book spine would be for it. So I don't have any measurements or anything, but I thought I would just kind of experiment with this. I don't even know if this book is tall enough, but this is actually that muscle car fabric that I made Mark's quilt out of. I just have this one little piece left, so hopefully I can use it in the quilt. But then I also found, because I've been saving my selvages, I found the muscle car. It's one of the black and gray ones, but that part isn't going to show anyway. So I thought I'd try to, while I was sitting here with you, try to sew this down on here and see how it would look. But I need to figure out what part of this that I want to use. I don't have too much room here on this piece of fabric to use this whole thing, but I at least want to get where it says muscle car. Maybe I'll go to about right there and use that part. I might go just a little bit farther just in case I'm short. But what she did is she turned it right sides together and sewed down the side that has the fringy part, and then she wrapped that over and sewed it down the other side. But she also turned that edge down. So I probably ought to turn my iron on, because I'm going to need to iron this. Get this going while we're talking. While that's heating up, I'll show you the other ones that I was thinking about doing. Here's one with some yellow fabric. I don't know who this is by. You guys probably know who it's by, but I had just a couple of fat quarters of this, so I thought this might make a cute book. I don't have any more of the Buzzworthy fabric, but I do have the Buzzworthy selvage. So I think I'm going to get somewhere in here where it says Buzzworthy, and maybe try to keep a little bit of that colored part as I turn it under. Actually, I think I was thinking about using all of these bees and going up to Buzzworthy. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I think I could do like Buzzworthy and then some of these bees on that yellow fabric. Wouldn't that be cool? So here's another one I pulled. It's I pulled a whole project box full for this library quilt. I don't know what I'm going to use, but I'm just kind of playing around with these selvages. Now, every one of your book spines don't have to have selvages. You can just do it here and there. But here's one from Figo. It has these colors on it. So you could even, I'm thinking about cutting this part out and just doing kindred sketches, and then attaching that to some of this color registration and putting that on a red. So I have a ton of red. So I could do that. And then another one I pulled was I'm using, pulled out everything I had that had any kind of type on it, like lettering and stuff. This is like a ledger type thing. I thought that would make a cool book spine, and then I could put something a little more colorful on it. But it has a little, this one has a little bit of like daisies. It says farm fresh sunshine and happiness, and then chickadoodle doo or something like that. So that would make a cute one. So let's see here. Let me get a feel for how this might go. I'm ironing on top of a quilt block. That's not very smart, is it? I'm not worried about it. It's not like I'm going to leave my iron sitting on it, so I think it'll be okay. Oh, I'll show you those quilt blocks here in a minute. Let's see. She said put down the right sides together. I'm trying to think. I don't know if she said to use a top stitch. I think you use a top stitch once you turn it. Let me see. Let me see how this works out. We'll just do an experiment here on the fly. And I'm just eyeballing straight here. Hopefully I'll get close. Okay, so I'm going to cut the extra off because there's no way to use that. Ooh, even my scissors are really cold. So here, I just sewed it down, right sides together. So now I'm going to flip it over. But first, or somewhere before I sew it down, I have to actually turn under that left hand side. Or I could just leave it frayed. What would that be like? I kind of like that black line on there. What if I just left it raw edge, like raw edge applique? I think that's what I'm going to do. Give it a little press here first. It's cut real straight. I'm pretty sure I cut that with a rotary cutter because I always cut my selvages off. That's just the garment sewer in me. You know how they taught us don't ever sew a selvage into a garment, and so we would cut them off before we even started. Sometimes on our projects we'd cut them off. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to just leave that edge there and sew just inside that white. Let me see. Let's move my stitch link up to 3. Make it look like a top stitched thing. I like this. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold the phone. It's a little bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay. I could probably straighten it up a little bit when I do the actual piece that I need. If this one's tall enough. This is exactly 9 inches. So if we have a book spine that's 9 inches, then it'll look something like this as a book on the bookshelf. Well, I'm not doing a very good job showing you. I don't want to cut it yet, because I don't know how wide it's supposed to be. Other than getting it crooked, I think it's going to look pretty cool. So I may have to undo that, or like I said, cut it to fit. Would that make a cool book spine? I think so. And then some of them she had too, where you could take this, let's just say this Buzzworthy, and put it across the spine at the top. Like this. Where is it? Like that could be a book on the shelf. Could do a combination of those. I think what she probably is going to do is a mixture of it. I'm pretty sure she said she was going to do a mixture of it. But I kind of like the idea of leaving that little black strip on there and leaving it like raw edge applique. It's kind of basically what we did just here. just now is a raw edge applique piece. So yeah, this is going to be a really cute, quick project too. Fun, and uses up some of your scraps or those odd fat quarters that you got from Soya. You know how, I don't know, when I first started watching them, I bought a lot of fat quarters, and I find that unless it's a fat quarter bundle, I just don't use them that much. I mean, you can use them for small projects, but I don't do a whole lot of small projects. But this project with the library, the bookcase, the library case, or whatever you want to call it, the library quilt, I think is what it's called, will be good for using some of those. So that's what I'm gonna do. This week also we have the Wednesday Sew Along Part 4, and that will be the setting squares and triangles. So I'm gonna sew those together. I made that video last week, so it's all ready to go. Friday's video, I'm not sure I'm going to have a Friday video this week. It all depends on if we end up taking a computer to do it on. We do everything on an iMac, and it's not a laptop, so I don't know. I just have to talk to Mark about that. If I don't have it this Friday, then, well, I'll just have to let you know on next Monday if it's gonna just be double the next week, or I don't know. I have a couple of other short videos I can put out for you too, just some tutorials, real quick ones, not shorts, but the quick like less than 10 minutes type videos. So there will be some things. I don't know how much of them will get out before we leave if we don't take a computer with us. So Mark took vacation time, so you know he doesn't have to take a computer with him, and my guess is he's not going to want to. So we may not have a Finish It Friday this week, but there will be some other stuff to watch. And for sure, I'll be back on Monday with news from the show, and who knows what else. And I've got some other things planned coming up, so just hang with me here on Lessons Learned. Here, I'll show you what I did this weekend. I did a couple of things. Here, let me show you this first. If you get the Friends box from So Yeah, this is the next block. In that block, I guess they'd call it a block of the month. You get a block every month, and then it's all solids. And at the end, of course, we'll have 12 blocks. So I'm keeping up with that. I got that box on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Friday? I think it was Friday. And I sewed this up promptly, so that wouldn't be a monkey on my back. And then I did block 2 of the Barnstar Sampler. Now this is the one I already had done, and we're supposed to do 2 of them. So here is my second one. So not thrilled with how my center parts came out. It's too much pink, but at least this time I got this fabric on the ends. Now that's really what I should have done for this one, is put that center fabric there, here, like I did on this one. So I'm just splitting the difference is basically what happened. So the 2 blocks are identical in construction, and I used mostly the same color palette for the 2, but they're not identical. So that's okay. I think it's fine. It's fine. Here I am trying to show you 2 blocks at a time. It doesn't work very well, does it? Somebody said I need to get something back here, but I just don't want to use that space up for a design wall. But we'll see. I might get something temporary I can throw up there for occasions like this. So there's 4 giant blocks done. 2 block 1s and 2 block 2s. So now I can start on block 3, which would have been for March. So by the time I get back to that, it'll be the 1st of May. So I'll still be 4 blocks behind because there's 2 for each of those months. Anyway, how's your barn star sampler coming along? Are you making some headway on it? One person I saw said that they had they were on block 4, so they were up to snuff, but they had started in January, so it stands to reason that they would have it done. So yeah, I'm just hanging out here in the she shed for Monday here and working on those kaleidoscope blocks is what I'm gonna do. And who knows, I might play around with this a little bit more too. So I think that's gonna be fun. Okay, so have a great week. I will be talking to you. Stay tuned for Wednesday's video, especially if you're doing the sew along. And congratulations to some of you who are moving right along on your cactus pot on point. And I'm really pleased with mine, as you saw on Friday. So I still have to work on that, and I probably won't get to that this week either. It'll probably be next week before I get those borders together and a new final video for you on that. Alright, so have a great one, and yeah, maybe we'll see you at Quilt Week in Paducah on Friday if you're available. If not, I'll have some great things to share with you when I come back. Alright, have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.